This study tries to contribute to gendered entrepreneurship education in relation to the impact fear of failure has, which tends to hinder women entrepreneurs, especially, to be innovative. And do women entrepreneurs innovate in new or improved services, products, processes, despite fearing to fail? And does this change over time from being a startup to becoming an established business owner? And can this be influenced by knowing other entrepreneurs? There is a gap in literature on the necessity for entrepreneurship educators for a gendered educational approach on the perceived fear of failure and impact on innovation. Entrepreneurship education, entrepreneurial attributes, problem-solving skills, creativity, change management are essential skills needed for the development of a society. And can entrepreneurship be taught? How entrepreneurship courses should differ from management courses? Action-based approach or experiential approaches are big discussions. And the effectiveness of entrepreneurship education or trainings programs not only depends on the curriculum, but it also depends on individual factors, human factors, contextual factors, and entrepreneurship education might help overcome obstacles. Innovation capability as importance for business success, being innovative, using your corporate resources to enable new ideas, processes, or products. And innovation confidence, the degree to which an individual is willing to engage with and perceive benefit from new products, services, or from products and services that embody new technology. Fear of failure is a perceptual variable with influence on an individual startup decision. And it can be interpreted as loss aversion. It is a subjective perception, a personal judgment, which does not take objective circumstances into account. And it is a strong emotion, mostly negative emotion, that hinders an entrepreneur to make progress towards goals. Fear of failure in Thailand for women entrepreneurs especially is extremely high. 55% of startups and established business owners roughly fear to fail. An entrepreneurial network where women entrepreneurs in Thailand have less access than their male counterparts. And entrepreneurial challenges change through the phases of a business from a startup to an established business. And knowing other entrepreneurs is an important source of information for especially startups when they're looking for opportunities. For hypothesis that there are gender differences in the impact of fear of failure, and that an individual's fear of failure will be negatively related to innovation for women entrepreneurs. The impact of knowing an entrepreneur on fear of failure is higher for female than for male businesses, startup businesses. And knowing an entrepreneur in general positively reduces the influence of fear of failure. This study makes use of global entrepreneurship monitor data collected in Thailand in 2017. The sample size, 1,668 entrepreneurs, 548 are startups and young businesses, and 865 established businesses, roughly 50% male and female. Dependent variable was created from 3 variables following Levy's survey items, and independent variables, fear of failure, knowing another entrepreneur, and the moderating effects, fear of failure on innovativeness, and knowing an entrepreneur, fear of failure on innovativeness. Now, no significance was found for fear of failure for both gender and both business phases. But knowing an entrepreneur positively influenced innovativeness. The negative beta coefficients indicate an increase in innovativeness. When using the first moderator, the effect of fear of failure on innovativeness, a significance was only found for male startups and young businesses, not for females. So hypotheses 1, 2, and 3 are all not confirmed. However, the moderating effect of knowing an entrepreneur considerably increased innovativeness by impacting fear of failure for both genders in the startup phase and for female entrepreneurs in the established business phase. So significantly impact if there is an entrepreneurial network. So hypothesis number 4 is confirmed. As a summary, no significant gender differences in the impact of fear of failure on innovativeness were found, regardless of business phase. Interestingly, the impact of knowing an entrepreneur and its influence on fear of failure on innovation is higher for male than for female entrepreneurs. A perceived fear of failure can be moderated by having an entrepreneurial network, reducing the fear's negative relationship to uncertainty or risk-taking. And established women entrepreneurs, even though they experience an overall higher fear of failure rate and have less access to other entrepreneurs, are significantly and positively impacted in their innovativeness in products, services, or processes. For entrepreneurship education, a women's entrepreneurship training or educational program must target the educator, who can come from a diverse background, academically trained university professors or practicing entrepreneurs, or a combination of both. In addition, human factors, human capital, entrepreneurial capabilities, personality, and cognitive traits play a role to foster women's entrepreneurship education. And the findings highlight the importance of entrepreneurial networks for women entrepreneurs for an innovative business approach. And a gendered entrepreneurship approach can help improve networking capabilities, for example, reduce fear of failure and increase innovative behavior. There are still gaps and further studies that need to be done. The exact interplay between fear and knowing an entrepreneur and what specifically leads to an increase in innovativeness are still open questions. I thank you for your attendance. Sawadee ka.